Hey y'all, I hate being late. I am a timely person. I am sorry because Supreme is not on the stage yet. And I got 22 sets of eyeballs, and you guys were coming to see this conversation about the West 4B. And I've been on my phone trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Hopefully, we didn't have a lapse of communication as far as the timing and the time zones, because she sent me a Zoom link. So I am confused. I am sorry, y'all. But while I am doing this, I want to let everybody know. Good morning. Thank you all for being here. On April 16th, I will be going live. I don't know if you guys saw the other live that I did with the behavior the behavior analyst, and we were talking about how men are using control tactics to manipulate behavior. And we're going to be doing a Zoom call where we're talking about behavior. We're talking about how they use breadcrumbing, but it's called intermittent reinforcement. Now, this Zoom call will actually cost. It is $30. We're only doing 15 people. I have a notification. I have a community post that's talking about it. We actually did a video yesterday where we were talking a little bit about intermittent reinforcement. And that's basically what these dudes be doing with breadcrumbing. So if you guys are interested, I have about 13 slots left because 2 people paid yesterday. It's $30. All of the information is over there. It looks like Supreme, she got the text message. So I'm gonna see if she comes up on the stage. Okay, so what is going on in the chat? I do have some giveaways this morning. Now, y'all know that I am agnostic, so do not be surprised about what you guys are about to see. Let's see, what do we have going on in the chat, y'all? Let's see where she is. Yes, it was awesome to bring in a professional. I am glad that she was here. I'm glad that she gave us her time for free at first. And this woman put together a 77 page PowerPoint. So I am very, very appreciative. She did that immediately after we decided to do this live. 77 page PowerPoint. Okay, so now we just kind of wait. Good morning, y'all. Let's see. Y'all know that I can absolutely talk, but here she is.
Hi.
Oh my goodness. Yay! You're here.
Yeah, I just figured it out.
I am, that's my bad. I should have I should have done a troubleshooting thing with you because, this is not where you typically go live. But y'all, this is Supreme of the West 4B movement. Y'all know that we have been talking about this West 4B movement for a full week. You don't have to mute yourself. That's perfectly fine. It's just me. It's just me and you talking. Do you see that there's a whole chat going on over there? Do you see the chat situation?
I don't see any of the chat.
You don't.
I see it. I see it.
Okay. Yeah. So if I see any people pulling up any questions that might be good, you can, here we go. Do you see that right now? I put a comment on the board.
Yeah, I saw that. This is great. This is better than TikTok, actually.
So yeah, I get to moderate. I have moderators in the chat. Y'all, we have 74 sets of eyeballs. If you guys could go ahead and hit like. Now, Supreme. Y'all, Supreme is getting kind of bullied on TikTok. And you guys know how I have gotten bullied on TikTok, but it is not about her. And the crazy thing is, she remains anonymous, and I can completely understand why. Because when people know a little bit about you, they use those as talking points and as bullets to come at you. It won't have anything to really do with the message, but they want to attack the messenger when they have nothing. And so she has people coming for her. In the live or in the description, I think that I put West 4B's YouTube at. If y'all could go ahead and follow her, because we need to build up her presence over here. If this is something that you're interested in, build up her presence over here so that when people pull her down off of TikTok, she'll have a secondary home to come to, or if she wants to make this her first presence. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, hit the 4 tenets and what your goals are, tell a little bit about you or whatever you want to tell about you. Just talk to the people. The floor is yours.
So you know that I'd say that I'm a peace activist. I'm not like they say, are you the leader of this? No, because I was told before I'm not a leader. I don't
Okay.
want to lead women to do anything, but I would like to provide them with a space if they are like-minded. And you similar to South Korea, there's no face in South Korea. You don't see a woman who's the leader of the 4B. So I wanted that to be the same when I created the West 4B. This is why I remain anonymous, right? And so the 4 tenets are no babies, no marriage, no dating, and no sex. And that would just be it. And when I started it a year ago, I was told that it would never work. And I was told by bigger content creators that Black women will never, ever stop dealing with men. They'll never stop talking to them. They'll never stop having babies by them. And I said, yeah, but what if it did work? What if something like this did happen and it was able to kind of take off? And so I made the website and I made a Discord and I did all these things trying to make a community because I believe that the 4B tenets just made sense in the West. Um, Women in the West have, in regards to their bodily autonomy, 2 of the biggest things taken away from them. Roe v. Wade in certain states, and now they're going for no fault divorce. We already know dating is problematic, and we already know how men feel about sex. So I'm thinking, why not adopt all of those tenets and just put it in the West? I am, even though I do have, I told you I have multiple degrees, I did not want to spend time trying to figure men out. I think women, um, we have compiled enough information for 12,000 years on male behavior. We
Mm-hmm.
don't need decentering men essentially centers them. So it's better to stop with the dialogue of decentering men and kind of center ourselves and remove ourselves from a problematic situation. And the situation is that men are complaining, verb. Men are complaining. Men are complaining by and large about how awful women are. And this is regardless of race. And we see male treatment of women in India. We see male treatment of women in parts of Africa. All over the world, for some reason, men are very upset with women, right? So I said, okay, so what can we do to kind of give men their peace, right? Because I believe in peace. The only thing that you can do to give men their peace is to leave them alone. Because again, okay, go ahead. Yeah, again, you engaging with them and you constantly showing up in their faces, whether it be having a baby, trying to get married, trying to date, trying to understand them, to sleep with them, is nonsense because it's not something that they want. When women do sleep with them, they complain that, well, all over TikTok, body count lives, body count discussions, 304s, you ladies are loose, you ladies have no morals. The video I posted this morning on TikTok, she's slutting her way up until she finds a man, right? So I'm sorry, I got a call. She's slutting her way up until she finds a man. So this is what men are saying. And the goal of West 4B to me would be for women to get back full bodily autonomy and economic stability. This is why I don't take a dime from women. I don't charge women to be a part of this movement. I don't charge women to be a part of the Discord or to be a part of the book club or to be a part of the WhatsApp group. I don't charge a dime because I think economically, women should come together to build empires where all women can benefit. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yes, and give me 1 second. I am going to step out. You can keep talking. I got to
yeah,
get my lighting together. So you guys keep on talking in the chat.
yeah.
I'll be
So, okay, so for the most part, um, in regards to that, we have a West 4B movement directory in the Discord. And this is a directory where if you are a woman who has a business, like for example, we have a woman now who does press on nails, like, you know, the nails that like the fancy nails. We have a woman who does that. We have a woman who's a carpenter. We now have a woman who's a mechanic. We have a woman who's a plumber. There's a woman who's a barber. There's a woman who is a real estate agent. We put that all together so that women can shop for other women to support and make their businesses grow. We have a woman who's an app developer. We have a woman, all of these women. We have a woman who has a vending machine. We have a woman who does this. So I don't believe in taking money from women. I believe in circulating money so that women can have that economic stability all throughout, because that is true egalitarianism to me. You understand what I'm saying? So I've heard on TikTok that I'm collecting money, that I'm doing this for clout, that I haven't collected a dime. If anything, I put into the West 4B movement. I never took a dime from anyone. And what else did I want to say? Also, in regards to the biggest two tenets for me is the abortion, sex and marriage. If those laws are taking off of the table from women, then we should not be participating in activities that would make us need to get into those situations. For example, if Roe v. Wade is taking off of the table, why would you continue to still have sex with men if you have no way to protect yourself if you get pregnant by one and you don't want to deal with that? It just makes sense for women to halt what they're doing until they're giving back their bodily autonomy. If no fault divorce is being taken off of the table, why would you continue to get married to? It doesn't make any sense, because if you get into a marriage and the marriage is abusive or it doesn't work out, now you're stuck to someone and this is what they want. And again, even with the babies, because someone said, oh, wow, why wouldn't you want us to have babies? You know, in certain states right now, I think there's three of them that are trying to lower the age of consent from marriage from 16. 10 years ago, it was 18. So it went from 18 to 16. Now they're talking about 14 with parental consent. Parental consent. So that means they're going to make it legal for like a 35-year-old man to marry a 14-year-old. And you know that men will hop on things like that and just say, well, you know, it's legal. There's nothing wrong with it.
And so just last week, everybody was up in arms about the papa marrying a 12-year-old, ceremonially marrying a 12-year-old. But we got that going on right here. We have we have these religions that are perfectly fine with girls getting married to people that are old enough to be their daddies and their grandpappies. So we really do need to focus on the religious aspect of that. And that is going to take me to our conversation that we have next, because it is deconstructing. Yesterday, I told you, girl, I have been talking about you. I have been talking about you. Just yesterday, I was on a Clubhouse talking about this, the fact that we're going live. And like you said, so many people think that this won't work. And a lot of times this won't work because the Black community especially is so intertwined with religion. And without deconstructing religion a little bit, which you talk about, we can't deconstruct from these means and center ourselves. So with that being said, y'all, Supreme has sent me some goodies and I want to share some with y'all. We are having a giveaway. Bourbon Bougie is having a giveaway of Supreme's stuff. And I will let her, while I'm talking about this, go ahead and drop your link for Etsy. Like she said, she's not taking any money from this. It's basically the cost of the products. So this is cool. You guys, in order to get eligible, I'm gonna pick two people. I have a mug. This is the mug. If you're interested, y'all know I'm agnostic, so I am already like not about religion and the whole whichever God you look. I don't go for any of them. I don't edify anything. So I have this mug and I have, you can't really see it. This is a bag. So you can put a couple of books in this bag. You can put a snack. So I have two things to give away. And if you want to be eligible, number one, please like the live. But number two, you need to go ahead and subscribe to West 4B. You need to do that. I have put the link in the chat box a couple of times. I need to see her over 300. I need to see her over 300 subscribers before the end of this.
Yeah.
Um, and then number three, I need to understand. Tell me why you are deconstructed. Have you deconstructed from religion? So tell me something like that in the chat. Let's start talking in the chat about deconstruction. Have you deconstructed from religion? We're going to have two people that win these two products today. I got a bag here and I got a mug here, and I will put this mug and this bag in the mail for somebody today.
Yeah. So I spoke about we spoke, how I'm heavy into deconstructing from religion. Like I know a lot about the Bible, and I know a lot about the history of the Quran, the Hadiths, all of those things that um one of the best things that women can have a brag over is the fact that she didn't contribute anything to the Bible or the Quran. But the only way, in my opinion, that you can decenter men is if you deconstruct from the religions that they made to demonize women. You can't decenter men if you still love concepts like Jesus and the God of the Bible. The God of the Bible, and many story. We can talk all day about biblical scripture, but the God of the Bible is anti-human, anti-woman, anti-child, anti-family. Like Jesus said, I didn't come to bring peace. I came to bring a sword. I came to turn mother away from daughter, father away from son. The household will be filled with his own enemies. This is what Jesus said. So when people kind of say, well, Jesus would want peace. And I hear a lot of Black men saying, well, Jesus would want for all of us to kind of get along. And it's like, sir, but if you're a Christian, that's just biblically inaccurate. Jesus just doesn't want anyone to get along. He wants you to kind of get rid of all of your friends, your life even, for his name's sake. So men love religion because, again, it centers them. It centers them historically. It centers them, and it centers the God that they created. It centers the spirit that they invented. It centers the soul that they invented. But remember, we spoke about the invention of the soul and the spirit, and how these inventions basically came from ancient Egypt, and then from ancient Egypt on downward, because ancient Egyptians believed that, well, we are divided into 9 or so parts, and I don't have the name for all of them. And then they list those parts out. They even believe that their shadow was a part of the soul, right? And so that's what they believed in. We all know that the in regards to the empires, it's the Babylonian, the Medo-Persian, the Greek, and the Roman. Historically, that's just what it is. The Greco-Roman Empire, we see rise of philosophers like, Socrates, Plato, so on and so forth. And they took these ideologies from the Egyptians, and they kind of turned it into their own. They gave it kind of their own flavor, right? So it kind of first started with Socrates, and then from Socrates it went to Plato, because they say Plato was a student of Socrates, and Plato really didn't like women, Verb. If you read some of the things that Plato wrote about women, Plato kind of said that women were damned human beings, and they were awful, and just so on and so forth. So I have a whole thing in my Discord, and also I have a full spreadsheet. I can't even post it because it's so huge, on historically how did these white tea, because I'm thinking we're TikTok, how did
Yes.
these white male philosophers and these businesses of religion, they all kind of got in bed together, and then they came together and they invented the concept of the soul. They invented the concept of the spirit. They invented the concept of you are only able to be redeemed through the Father, through the Son, through the Holy Spirit. Mother is kind of taken out of it because, again, your mother gave birth to you, and you were born into sin. Everything that your mother gave you or did to you is sinful, right? Her bringing you here is sin. You come into the world, like they say, all of these things that men kind of say to discredit women and to put emphasis on the God that they created. which essentially Jesus, in my opinion, and his crucifixion and his dying, that's just sacrifice of what women do when they give birth. You know, like to me, and I'll send you my spreadsheet, but the cross basically is something that you're stuck to, similar to birth, and we can just go on and on and on about the symbolisms and Christ and how they had to kind of put a woman's characteristics into a male package so that the world can adopt it and run with it. And that's essentially Jesus. He didn't really exist. Jesus Christ never existed. But you have people who would disagree and say, well, this is not true. But there's no proof of Christ, really. There's no there's no even proof of Moses for people who believe that Moses parted the Red Sea and did all of the nonsense that they said he did. He didn't exist. And I think people there's a creator named Cole, Sebastian Cole, and he speaks about the JDEP files that you can read, and it talks about the origins of Moses, and it talks about it all basically being something made up, and the story is just not true.
So, yeah, we are seeing a lot of people in the chat. I don't know if you see it is going kind of wild over there. And I want to put your hopefully some of your anxiety was put at ease, because this is just kind of a conversation. You have a friendly audience over here. Oh, I do want to say, Cat Flan, I know you're over there being my moderator, but if you could collect, if you're in the chat watching some of these answers, I'm going to need your help with finding two of the women that are talking about deconstruction where I can give these wonderful gifts to. Supreme, if you want to drop your link for your Etsy and let them know, for the other people who want to get a bag or a mug and how it's available, you can go ahead and do that.
It's in the community section on my YouTube page. It's just Radical Atheist on Etsy, and I don't take any of the money because I know some. It was like, oh, look at Supreme selling her little broke cups, brokey. I don't take any money from the cups. I kind of put them back to. I give it all back to women. Even the coins on TikTok, we're giving that to a girl who's like in an abusive relationship. We don't take any money from any women. We kind of give it away, and we give it to women who need it more. Like, for example, Dress for Success. They have one in Georgia. Like, women who need clothes to go on job interviews. That's what we're doing right now. That's what we're working for on April 13th. We're going to do a big drop off to give women clothing. And if you want to donate, I'll put that information on where you can. But this is just like used clothes that you have, business clothes, business attire that you're no longer using, like a button down shirt, flat shoes, slacks, like a cardigan, like those navy black, interview clothes. I don't know if you know interview clothes, but yeah, stuff like that. And again, you don't have to spend money. Usually women have things in their closet they're not using.
Right.
Just, yeah, always. So we look for that donation. Last year on West 4B Movement, we did a coat drive. We did a toy drive, which was kind of successful. Not a lot of women knew about it. Again, I'm not a big fish on TikTok. I'm not a big fish on YouTube. But for the organization that we gave it to, they were really appreciative for what they did get. So we're doing things like that. Again, we also have the directory so that all women can make money and circulate money with other women, and we don't have to rely on men as much as we do for things which we get ripped off for, like a mechanic, a plumber, a carpenter. It's good to find women who can do these things so that we can have that resource. So the directory, I have most of it on the Excel spreadsheet, and it's going to be popping. And yeah, that's mostly it. It's not really, I just created space. I'm not the leader of anything because I was told, I'm not the leader, but I just created space so that women can kind of have community and have a good time doing it. And that's it. I don't think that's a lot. And also one of the caveats is to help women to deconstruct from, so we do have Bible studies, Bible talk, Quran talk. We talk about everything in Zooms.
So I I know that you have talked about this. Everybody that's on my YouTube page doesn't have TikTok. So, honestly, one of the things that is very important for you is to, like, whatever you put on TikTok, you need to be putting it over on YouTube. So just start doing that. Because a lot of people will tell you in the chat that they are not downloading that app. So a lot of the people that you see on TikTok might not even be over here on YouTube. So it's so important to cross and always overlap your thing. But you have talked about fear being a man construct or man icon. Do you want to tell the people what you mean by fear is a male icon?
So I always say fear is, I say two things. Fear is a male icon, and shame is a male business. Notice that in the past, I want to say 5 or 6 years, that men have participated in the universal shame of women. Universally, women are being shamed for even dealing with them, right? They have said things like, well, when you deal with us, your value decreases. You have a high body count. Look at you, single baby mama, especially in the TikTok streets where they're kind of saying things like, well, every black man is in prison because he was raised in a home with a single mom, and the single mom chose welfare over. This is what it is. And they are shaming women to fold into themselves so that they can be paralyzed. And the one of the greatest things I notice about women is that even though this happens to them, they refuse to be paralyzed because, again, they have children to feed. So the goal of men, in my opinion, is to kind of shut women up, shut them down, not let them speak, and not let them call out what they see with their own two eyes that men are doing. Men, in my opinion, especially historically, we've seen that they are highly delusional. They operate with their imagination first, and then it gets turned into an egregore. And we all know what an egregore is. We all know what groupthink is. And this is what men have done. They create these delusions like their God, like their theologies, a lot of male ideologies and things like that are going out right now. And we see that all over. What else do we see? We see men participating in what we call, or what I like to call, spiritual capitalism. Spiritual capitalism is also real, and this is, in my opinion, male centered. And I spoke to you before about how religion and spirituality are the same.
Yeah.
One thing that people like to do is when they fall out of bed with Christians or Christianity, then they fall right into the bed of tarot cards, spiritual readings,
Right.
birth
Their
charts.
God can be just about anything.
Yeah. Birth
Yes.
charts. Exactly. Someone said men want to be demigods. Exactly. Birth charts. And all of these things I deconstructed on my panel. Spiritually, we have to talk about where the idea of the spirit came from. We have to talk about the origins of all these things and how they were put out to be distractions to women so that women wouldn't participate in the physicality of what they do on the planet, which is giving birth. So if I make you obsessed or possessed with the spiritual realm, and I tell you that spiritually, we're more, and all of these things that you see men created to get women distracted, it makes perfect sense as to why women are where they are in the world today. You're not paying attention. Meanwhile, men are physically ruling the world, and you're in the spirit, in the cloud, talking about tarot cards. And again, I always say this: if spirituality was as powerful as it is, then we wouldn't see the violence that we do see against women and children. Because I always say, if you're a powerful witch, then help overthrow the patriarchy, overturn Roe v. Wade. If you are a spiritual witch and you say things like I can astral project, then let's hop into Chase Bank. Let's take out some funds when you astral project, and let's give it to poor women and children who need it. Like if the word that true, but again, it's not. And again, this comes with a lot of male. Like I spoke about the inventor, Mr. Court, who invented the tarot card. Mr. Court was a minister who invented the tarot card deck, and he never meant for it to be used as a divinity tool until I think it was 18. I have to find the date. But originally it was like how you play cards. Like, you ever played spades? That's how tarot cards were supposed to be used. I don't He kind of made it into a divinity tool, and then look, it took off. Women took it, they ran with it. Spiritual capitalism is real. I have to tell you that something is wrong with you so that I can tell you how to fix it. Same thing in religion. I got to tell you that you're not saved and you're on your way to hell, then I'm going to tell you how to fix it with Jesus. There's
But
no
the crazy thing is you have to go through that middleman in any of these things, because that middleman, he knows, and it's typically a he knows all of the stuff. He is the medium to get to that special place. And
absolutely.
so after the pandemic, when people started doing their own stuff online, I think that helped to shift, like, okay, maybe I can do this by myself if I do still want to be in this religion. But also, we've seen these numbers. That's the reason why I don't like it when so many people act like this is not possible. If I really knew how to do my StreamYard, I could start trying to pull it up. But I've talked about this before. Religion is on the decline. Religion is on the decline. Birth rates are on the decline. A lot of this is going hand in hand, because as more of us, the agnostic, the atheists, and the religious nuns, we have kids. I have kids. Um, and my kids have not been raised in the church. So there's going to be a full generation of people that have been raised by the religious nun people. And so religion is loosening its grip already, but it's definitely going to loosen its grip in the further generation. So I can already see it. But the fact that I mentioned that I have kids, people that are in the chat, because I am a supporter of the 4B. And so many people get their panties in a bunch because this is for no marriage, no dating, no sexual relations, and no kids. Obviously, someone like me, I cannot really be in the 4B because I'm not going to get divorced or anything. But how people like me, I'm not centering myself. You already know that. But I can support women. I've always supported women. Some people who, like, what if it's a man that recognizes that patriarchy is harmful to everyone? What can you do? You can push women centered stuff. You can show this woman is the mechanic. And for everybody that is in the chat that is wondering how to connect with the directory and everything, I'll make sure that Supreme gives me the information or whatever, so that so you guys can funnel your stuff there. That is how we're creating community, because everybody can't do this. I mean, I've already had the kids. I've already done the whole marriage thing. Some people have done the kid thing, but they're like, I'm not going to have any more kids to feed into this system.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
It's like, going forward, what are we going to do to deconstruct these power systems that are currently harming us?
Yeah, and remember I spoke about like those 5 animals that refuse to mate if they're in cages. And I think the first one was the cheetah. And the cheetah, if she's in a cage, she's not going to mate with, and this is how they have to make these artificial I don't know if you were in that live when we spoke about in the beginning of the 20th century, there were like 1 million cheetahs on the planet. Now there's only like 9,000 because they created these artificial environments, and the cheetah, the female, doesn't feel, you know what I'm saying? So it's not that the birth rate is declining because of 4B. The birth rate is declining because, again, women cannot protect themselves or their children under patriarchy, and it's highly unnatural. And the cost of living is going up. So instead of men, and we say this before, men and in these governments, they don't really think things through. Like when I spoke to you, because you know that I'm a historian, about Decree 770 and how Decree 770, this man wanted a booming government. He wanted a booming economy. He took away all birth control. He took away all abortions. He enforced menstrual police to watch women. He made it mandatory that women see a gynecologist monthly. And he did this so that his population could grow, so that his economy can grow, and it backfired. Yeah, the population grew, millions of children were born, but many of them didn't make it past the age of 5, right? So the same thing with the cheetah. When you do put her in captivity, yeah, she'll have a baby if she decides to mate, but the baby or the cheetah, I don't even know what a baby cheetah is called. I got to look that up. Doesn't make it doesn't make it past a certain age. So it's what women are doing in regards to walking away from religion, having less children, is just natural because of how men made the entire planet. So this is why we're pushing for, well, maybe we don't contribute to this. So the West 4B movement is for women who have children, because these women are saying, I'm not having any more. I'm not having any more. I'm not having any more children to kind of contribute to this. And if I have a son or a daughter, I'm going to speak to them about how to exist under the system that we live in and how to change them for the better. And I also think that this is a movement that will, I don't think it'll be like anything else right now, because for the most part, a lot of people are trying to get women to figure men out. And I don't think that women should figure men out for the most part, or even talk to them. So there was another content creator, and she said, oh, well, you fucking up you're messing up the West 4B because you're having men on the panel. I said, well, sadly, a lot of women listen to men more than they listen to other women. And what was going on about 4B was misinformation that men were putting out. Men were saying that we were all lesbians, that we were all 50 years old, that we were all single baby mamas. And in order for me to get the attention of women, I had to put men on my panel to bring that audience to me. Now women see, okay, this is where the real information is. Where can I sign up? So it was a chess strategy to me to kind of get men on the panel, because when I had an all women panel, they really weren't participating. They didn't really give a shit, you know? So I said, well, how can I get engagement so that more women can go to the website, more women can sign up? And look, I have numbers now. So
Yes.
that's what you really want to happen, for women to get the right information and to give men, again, the peace that they're looking for.
And that is something that we need to talk about, because as of right now, you have the momentum right now. So honestly, like, oh my gosh, when the men start talking, I start hearing the Charlie Brown teacher, the wah, 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 wah. And so, like Steffi Ann says, how do we make sure, even in this movement, we don't spend so much energy on the men's? Even ignoring them is taking our energy. Should we treat them like NPCs, like background noise? And for you, especially Supreme, especially the way these people are coming for your platforms, I think that you have enough momentum and enough mouthpieces to where you can ignore these men, because like a lot of the women that follow me are not the type that actually like to engage with them. Like, we don't need male validation in order to, make something better.
Yeah,
So is it to the point where you can just leave them out of it? Like, we have
absolutely.
enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
We
got
got enough
we got
momentum.
the attention. Yeah, we got the attention. We used them for what we needed to use them for, and then
Whew,
we started it. Now we don't
whew.
need men on the panel anymore, because now women know, okay, that's the real West 4B movement. Um, and that's just where we're gonna be now. So and again, this was a tactic I used, because when I did have an all woman panel, I had 15 women in the room.
Yep, I remember. I was
But
there.
when a man did a 4B panel, he had 1,000 people in the room. And I said, but wait, he's not even talking, he's not even giving out the right information. He's saying that, the women in Korea are, they're not allowed to have abort. I said, that's not true. Women in Korea have more abortion rights than women in the States. Where are you getting your information from? So I used men to come on the panel to get women to come on the panel, and then it grew. We don't really need to engage. I'm not going live anymore. I don't think I have to do any more talking. I don't have to do any more, like, interview. I just have to post, mind my business, and create space for women, and plan the seminars that we wanted to plan, like trying to get in contact with, I'm working with Sasha, working with Joy, working with other women. We're just trying to work behind the scenes to build community. And again, there's no leader. It's just a space for women who want to do the 4Bs, and that's just what it is.
Right. And that's the thing. It's like, and people don't have to get so caught up in the semantics of it. Like, I know that you have an application process, but is that more so to gather information? What is the point
No,
of?
the application process is to protect women. That's why I put it up. Because if I just had a random WhatsApp link and everyone can join, then every men will join. kids will join. No, if you want a space for women where women can really let their hair down, then this space is heavily vetted. You can't come in without a live photo. You can't come in without a 2 minute, one half a second voice note. You can't half a minute voice note. We have to vet the space so that we are allowing women to speak. Because what I'm hearing in TikTok world, women aren't allowed to say the things that they feel. Like, for example, we had a live and it was about, again, all women's space. No men nobody was in there. And then I don't even know how the topic of childbirth came up, but it did. And then women were kind of talking about like, this person said she hemorrhaged out. This person said her epidural didn't work. This person said the pain was unbearable. She decided to she was one and done. And then in the comments section, there was a trans woman, and she was like, well, just because you ladies can give birth, that doesn't mean you're really a woman. And then we just didn't understand it. And because of TikTok purposes, we couldn't talk about it because of TikTok, so, but then on, like, say you have a space like this, then women can leave TikTok spaces and have those discussions in their own spaces without having to worry about a trans woman saying, you ladies aren't real women because you can give birth. I just wanted to create a space for women, and that's it,
Yeah. Now the whole thing is, I didn't want to tiptoe into that discussion because, oh my God, it becomes a whole mess when you even start to have this discussion. So that's the reason why some of your lives have gotten shut down. So I don't know, did you see the video that I did the other day where I was trying to help explain, or using your live to explain the whole tea people thing or whatnot? Did you see that on
Yeah,
the
I think I
okay.
saw it.
The comments became a whole mess, and I don't want to do that because so many people get so upset when they are not centered specifically. And so, like, you have the process that you want to do for the people that are joining your Discord, your discussions. But for the other people, if you want to do the tenets of 4B, like she said, there is no leader of this. We're just having these discussions. You don't have to, like, formally, like, there's no badge or there's nothing like that. You just are opting out. And we're going to be watching these numbers because, like over in Korea, it took a few years before these numbers became evident. And we're only going to see these numbers once a year. So, all we could do is do the best that we can, support women, try to turn down the need to have male validation for everything. Block them when they come into your online spaces, into your life spaces. Block them. Be okay with not looking for a head pat from these men. So many of these women are moved by head pats and compliments from men. Be that person that's not. That's how you can help move the conversations.
I think so too, and I'm always in full support of what trans women want to do. As a matter of fact, I was told that they're making their own movement, and I said, go for it. I want to see a website. I want to see some action. I was told, and I love that. I love that.
All right. So, you later on, I know that you have some things going on. Do you want, like, literally, y'all, we have 300 people in the chat, which is amazing. We're doing some numbers. Can y'all please make sure to hit the like button for me? And if you haven't already subscribed to West 4B, please go ahead and do that. I'm trying to get her numbers over 300 before we get out of here today. I'm not sure where we are right now, but I will be checking. I got my phone, so I'm sitting here checking periodically.
Yeah.
But do you want to tell people what you have going on, your virtual events?
So we have on west4bmovement.com, we have virtual events. Again, we have we call it West 4B Movement Money Talk. And we encourage all women to kind of pull up with their business plans, things that they're working on. Even if they have a TikTok page and they would like to go live because they don't have enough followers, or they like to do hair and they want to have a camera on when they're doing hair because They like doing hair, and it's something. So we kind of come to money talk with ideas. How can we help how can we help each other economically? How can we not take from each other, but how can we support each other in our business ventures? So for example, there was a girl who wanted to open a like the eyelash vending machine business, and we were able to kind of get her started with the vending machine, find one of those developers that paint them and do all those things. And this is just with 17 laptops open, researching how we can help other women make a bag, and that's it. And again, the events are free. You don't have to pay for any of this. We just want you to come prepared to discuss. Bring your business plan, bring your ideas, bring your business cards, bring your locations, and we'll add you to the directory. And if a woman needs something in your state, then you'll get the business and it'll grow. There's not a directory geared to women. Well, I haven't seen it. Maybe there is one, but I haven't seen it. Like a task rabbit for women. That's what we're building in the West 4B Discord. It's a directory with businesses geared to women and to help women. I would call it the Task Rabbit for women only business. And I think that's a good idea. Women, we need that.
Okay. I am as you're talking, I'm just kind of clicking through the chat. And y'all, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't have the opportunity to like really check in on the people that were talking about the deconstruction for religion to give a winner for the bag and the cup. But I'm going to do something this week to give these two things away. I'm going to put something on a community post because these chats go by way too quickly. And I'm going to choose two people to send these off to. I'm going to send this bag. You can put your books in it. You can put a lunch or something. If you are decentering, if you're deconstructing religion, or if you have never had a religion, if you are, if you understand how the patriarchy and religion are connected and you want this, cool. And if you don't win, she has a page where you can go and you can support that way. And like she said, she's not taking any money for it. And it's perfectly fine to make some money off of your efforts. But she is not making any money.
I just don't like to, because I think it turns into she's only doing this for money. She's trying to be like, oh, she's trying to make a bag on YouTube. No, all of the money goes to women. And the cups are only $10. It's not an expensive. It's not someone said, oh, they should be more. It's a $10 cup. It's a $12 tote. Like, let's be for real. Like, how much money can you make from that? So,
but if you
get a return on a $10 cup, like be serious.
I understand. But the reason why I would think that you could go up a couple of dollars, because then you could put that extra money, if you don't want to have it, put it into a community pot. Because you are going to come across a woman that needs a coat. You are going to come across a woman that needs such and such. And if these women are willing to pay $16 for the mug, and then you are getting the proceeds to be able to put into that pot, I don't think that the women that are supporting this movement would have that big of a deal with that.
Yeah, that's something to think about. I'm just really iffy when it comes to like money things. I just feel, I don't know. I have to talk to you about that, because I'm very kind of like, oh, I don't want to deal with nobody, no money shit. So the cup is, I even made the cut, the cup. They're the ones who gave me the prices. I was going to make it lower. I was going to make it $6. Like,
okay.
And they was like, no, you got to make it 10. And then they kind of put the prices 10. But I'll think about it.
Okay. And you have officially hit 319 subscribers, Supreme.
So much. That's amazing. I can't wait to go live and to hold these West 4B movement discussions. And it's not really, I don't know why we get so much backlash. It really shouldn't be. This should be easy, because again, we're listening to what men are saying. If men are complaining, we're going to take away the complaint. We're not going to bother you, because again, you can't shut up about how bad we are. You even had a movement where you decided to get passports,
right,
to get away from. So
passport.
But why are you mad that we're kind of like, okay, we're not going to bother you? And even the women, like, they call them pick-me's, losing it. And it's like, ma'am, we're sending more men your way. You'll have a plethora of men to deal with now.
So, I don't typically do my lives for longer than an hour.
Great. That's cool.
So, we are approaching the last few minutes. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to like you can go ahead and rapid fire, and we can try to address anything that you might have. I, Erica De Niro, Erica De Niro TV. She is a big presence on both. I mean, she's all over the place. I follow her in multiple places. Thank you for being here, Erica De Niro. Hopefully, she cleared up anything that you were talking about as far as not bringing men back up on her panel. She
Yeah, I saw her video, but I thought it's not that we didn't stand on business, Miss De Niro. We did in the beginning. We had an all women's panel, and it was like 10 girls. Even last year when I started West 4B Burbs, I told you I started West 4B Burbs with 10 women. By the time I got 2 months in, it dwindled down to maybe three. Then it dwindled down to maybe two, and then I had to do the coat drive with my family. And I just took it from people I knew on the block on, oh, if you buy a toy at Target, buy two, give it to me. I'll give it to these women in the shelter, right? So for their kids. And it's not that we respect men or give a shit about what they say, but women sadly listen to them more than they would listen to me, especially a woman. I think women also listen to masculine personalities more than they listen to someone who's on some, Supreme is a goofball. I'm a goofball. All I'm doing is trying to, make a movement and make space for women. If something is better, then go be better. So with the having the men on the panel, it worked because when men came on, 400 women came in that room. And what's so sad? The one man who came on, he's not even someone who you would think people would listen to, but a lot of people listen to him. This man has like 40K followers on TikTok in comparison to my little bit. So using men was a strategy to get women to come in, to get the right information, to visit the website, to apply, and boom, now we have a WhatsApp group. I can't even get through the applications now. So it worked, in my opinion. The sacrifice worked, and listening to them for an hour, it worked.
And Zero Tolerance says, ladies, let's get in the gym, foreign travel groups, and get our money up. And I do want to talk, we do need to work on keeping our head on a swivel, self-defense, being able to sprint if necessary. We all see what is going on in the world. So being realistic about having health and fitness and all of that is something that we need to talk about. Are you guys talking about that over there as
Yeah,
well?
so I do, because I like to work out. I believe you need to, if you're an atheist and you're planning on living a lifestyle where you don't have a God, the thing with Christians is that they love nothing more than for something bad to happen to you. They kind of salivate at the mouth with the end of the world and demise and darkness and just bad things happening to people who don't believe in their God. So I always say, well, if you're going to be an atheist or a radical one, you should be in the gym. You should be taking care of yourself because there's a Christian behind you who's kind of waiting for you to have a myocardial infarction and fall over. So be healthy, eat right, take care of yourself. And there's something also that I think that women do. They kind of like to take care of themselves when a man is watching. And
Right.
we need to pull away from that. No, you should always be taking care of yourself,
Yep.
regardless of if a man if you're in a relationship or not. Because I've seen that women will get into a relationship and they're hard body in the gym. They're, no, you should always be taking care of yourself because, again, you know, it's you, right? So I have morning walks. We do Zooms, and we just walk and we talk and we speak about things that we can do and we exercise and we try to eat right and it's just a community where we're all trying, and there's no one at the top. It's just all of us trying to get this message out and give men the peace that they need. And this is also a survival tactic too, because we have a live and men were saying, well, if you ladies don't do this, then we're just going to grape you all. We're just going to grape you. And I
Yep.
was kind of like, okay, so, run up.
So,
Yeah.
the next thing I want to say is like what you said about being in shape regardless. I have a whole series of things that I was talking about, the whole trad wife movement and everything. And I say this so many times, women should be able to survive regardless of their marital status. And so many people were coming for me like, you're anti-marriage. You just don't want people to be traditional. And I'm like, I just want women to be able to survive regardless of marital status. I'm married. I keep saying that. Well, having a plan is like having one foot out the door. It's just like some of these people simply want women to be out on the street. And so, it's always, we need to have our finances together. We need to have emotional stability, our mental health balance. We need to have our physical health balance. We need to have relationships that are in balance. You need to keep your friendships strong. You need to keep your family bond strong. You need to talk to the barista up the street like you have some sense. Don't put down people because you might have a different kind of position. And so we do need to have community. Like Stephanie Ann says, how can we maintain these spaces is the worry that I have. You don't have to worry, because when you have women that edify men, they are not really a part of this space. Like literally, if there are some people that are just like, not all men, not all men, but it's just the men that you choose, they're not ready. If you have men coming into the space that are just here to derail, they are not here to create community. So we have to be okay with chopping the numbers, because we only want a certain amount of numbers, a
Yeah,
certain amount of people, quality over quantity.
yeah. And I think the so many people are trying to get me like scared too, and they say things like, well, um how are you going to do this, what is going to happen? I said, nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. We'll be fine, right? The Well, men are going to get violent. Sis, they're already violent.
Right.
They're already violent. What are you going to do? Fall down? Where they're already violent. All we can do is try to build community and stay safe. And that's it. So the West 4B movement is that place. You're going to get directories to help you find women who you can shop with, who you can walk home from the subway with, who you can go on long walks with. Instead of walking in ones, we're going to walk in threes and fours to be safe. And I think once we organize that way, do things that way, then we can grow. But this business of, solitude and paying into one, no, we're going to work together, because that's true egalitarianism. Everyone works. So I'm even thinking of making like a for the women who do feel like they need to go out on a date, because women love to date. We're going to have that. We're going to have meetups where we could just meet with other women and go out. If you want a lobster, get a lobster. You don't have to worry about sleeping with anyone after you eat your lobster, though. And that's just West 4B. If you want to come home from the subway, you're going to meet women who are probably also with West 4B movement. We're going to walk in packs home, walk in packs to the train, walk in packs wherever we have to go to exercise. And that's just what it's going to have to be. And this is how you build real community.
Teresa said, give the merch to Lola and Tinu. So Lola and Tinu came with the fire. Teresa, I believe you. I am perfectly willing to trust your judgment, and I just want to give this stuff away. And whoever gets this, I just need you to snap a photo with it and make sure that we get it so that we can push the merchandise. So let me know, Therese, if she says Lola and Tinu. Lola and Tinu, make sure you hit me up in the community post. So Maz is here. Maz, thank you for hosting the clubhouse yesterday. This is Maz to the Max. Supreme. Maz to the Max. I'm going to extend this a little bit longer because I want to bring Maz to the Max up here. So hold on, y'all. Maz to the Max, I'm about to send you a link to come over here. Hold on real quick, y'all, because she had the thing is, making these things grow bigger is all about like getting your information in front of more people. So hold on, y'all. And Maz has her own subgroup, and all of us are just pushing this information, because in our own kind of ways, we want women to be safe, be able to talk. And she wanted to talk to you. So I'm going to pull her up. I don't know if you know Maz, but that's okay because you're going to meet her now. She wants to bring you up to her clubhouse. So Maz, I sent you a link. All you have to do is click into it, and then I'll pull you up onto the stage. I didn't know she was in here. Let's see. So yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit longer so that we can keep chit chat. Well, you don't have to mute. I don't know why you muted. Um, let's see.
I guess I'm just so used to it, like muting on, you know how TikTok is, so I just always mute. But also as well, thank you for this. I wanted to say thank you. Like you're one of the few people, like creators that really kind of encouraged me to continue because I was so discouraged before because everyone kind of said it's trash, it's Supreme is doing it, it's whack. And I said, well, at least one person kind of believes in it. And I really appreciate you allowing me to kind of come on your platform. You didn't really kick me in the teeth on the back end. You didn't send people to kind of bully me in the TikTok lives or bully me in my space or tell me that it wouldn't work and to so I really, really appreciate you. And I'm so happy. I don't know if you can use your cup at home though.
So okay, y'all. So
No.
I can use my cuss, y'all. I don't cuss around my kids, and this has a cuss word on it. This has a cuss word on it. So I have to use my cup, and then I have to wash it and put it away because my kids, they will fuss at me. They will admonish me. So no, you know. But Alma, please say your name how I'm supposed to say it because I call you Maz, but is it Almaz?
Yeah,
Please,
my name is. Can you hear me? Can you
I can.
hear me? Hello, good morning. Hello, everybody. Yes,
Good
my name
morning.
is Almaz, but everybody just calls me Maz, Maz to the max, because that's what my clubhouse room is. Because I'm trying to bring maximum information, and it is. I think. I mean, I don't know, but I think I truly have one of the most women-centered spaces on Clubhouse to the point where my mods kick men out of the room. Because we have women. I truly want to have women centered spaces where they feel that they could talk about subjects that really mean something, that are really meaning to them. And I had Bourbon Bougie on last night to talk about this. And I'm married with children myself, so I can't be a part of the movement. But I do. But I have older daughters, and I support them in their endeavors. And I worry about their safety. We're both very friendly with Rosa, who is the founder of Black Femcide. And back in 2023, 2022, 2,700 Black women and children were killed in the United States that year. And this year, the numbers are going to go higher. So women have to stick together on this. And again, what I talked to, remember when I kept asking the question last night because I'm so befuddled. If there are women who are what they call pick me's or whatever, who are still going to validate men, love men, cherish men, whatever, why are they upset about women who don't want to be bothered with men? Wouldn't it be more men to choose from for them? Wouldn't it be more quality men to choose from for them? I don't
That's what
understand it. It's
no,
weird. It's
that's
weird.
very
It's
weird.
weird.
The biggest hate that I get is a lot of the times, well, no, it's double hate of men and those women. Because again, Burb, you remember in the Black community how Kevin Samuels used to be like, well, men hold the key to marriage, women hold the key to sex, men hold the key to relationships and marriage. And if he doesn't want to marry you or date you, then you're not going to be married or dated. And women only have sex to offer. So I said, all right, so that means that if men hold the key to relationships and marriage, if you want a relationship and a marriage, he would have to pick you for that to happen. You can't pick him by having sex with him. You can only offer sex, but that doesn't mean he's going to commit. This is red pill rhetoric. So if I say that you're a pick me because you want a relationship or a marriage, how can you be mad? You want the relationship because he has the key to it. Women subscribe to this all the time before. Now it's no one wants to be married or in a relationship anymore, that's weird. West 4B comes on and everyone is kind of like, well, we don't want them either. No, you're going to get them. You're going to get all of them in bulk. So don't worry. Don't worry. You'll be fine.
I want
Feel
you guys to, I'm sorry, I want you guys to make sure you connect, because I know you were excited to meet her, and I'm like, cool, I'm gonna make this happen. I'm so glad that I saw your name over there. It's a lot going on in the chat, and y'all, make sure you hit the like button. There's over 320 sets of eyeballs here, and I don't think that that matches up with the likes. I'm muting myself now.
I just have to say, Burb, I love you. I support you. We talk offline. We live not too far from each other. I adore you. And the whole thing about it is, it's telling women, and I center Black women in my spaces, but I'm global. I see all women go through all of this all over the world, but I center Black women because I am a Black woman. And, nobody's centering us. So we have to center ourselves. And, my spaces are to talk about, you can live your best life. You can have an alternative way of life. You don't have to deal with the religious dogma. And I'm Jewish, by the way. I'm Jewish. My family's from Ethiopia and Eritrea. I'm a Jew, but we don't have to live under the tenets of religious dogma. We don't have to, do the thing that you have to be married and have children to be validated as a woman. You can live your best life. I support child-free women. And I think people should leave child-free women alone. Stop asking them for money. Stop asking them for babysitting. Stop asking them, you're living with a whole, excuse the expression, wet dick man in the bed, but you're asking your best child-free friend for money. I don't understand that. That shit's like soul food at a Klan rally. Hello? I'm sorry. I will stop. But you see, and then they make you feel bad because
Very,
you don't have kids. It's weird. It's weird. I'm gonna mute now. Thank you. And please, Bib and Bougie has my information. And on my Clubhouse, I'm giving away 10 of her Ashy Men Will Make You Fat books. So anybody who's on Clubhouse, remember, they already started sending me their numbers. Any number from 1 to 100. If the number's picked out of the hat by one of my kids, you get a book. So, but yeah, please let's connect. And I appreciate you, Bourbon Bougie, for bringing me up. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go on mute now. Thank you.
Yeah, Supreme, I have a book that's what this book title says right here. Ashy Men Will Make You Fat. Me and my
please send it to me.
Me and my co-author put out that book last year because all of this goes together. Choosing the wrong mate will increase your stress level. It'll increase your waistline. It'll decrease your finances. It will jack up your relationships. And I know the title grabs you, but it's not really fat shaming, but it grabs you. And I start talking about, making family planning is financial planning. I talk a lot about all of this stuff, and I haven't promoted myself with you because I wanted to push your situation. But like Ama said, she is doing a giveaway with my books. So that is pretty exciting because, some of us will continue to date. However, I want us to have a value system. What do you value? My value system is health, women, and my family, obviously. Health, wellness, and my family, and, women in general. If it is outside of that, we need to learn boundaries. We have to deprogram trying to be everything for everybody. And I talk a lot about that in my book. And I do need to push my book a little bit more. I'm kind of like you, where it's just like, I don't want to keep asking for money, but I did put some work into doing this book. All right. Oh, man. I know, y'all, we have talked. We have had a time today, right? We have had a time, right? Belladonna says she is over here smiling so hard. I'm glad that we have communities coming together because so many times people think that women can't support women, that women go at it like cats and dogs. But the only time that we go at it is if it's a scarcity mindset where we're fighting over things. But what we're trying to do is increase our fold. We're trying to pour into other people to make her network grow, to make her business grow. So we're not taking, but we're also giving back. So I appreciate everybody.
Thank you so much for that. But also, I just wanted to say, in order for us to have a true egalitarian society, we need to have economic stability amongst women. We cannot continue to rely and interact with patriarchy if we want true freedom. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I just believe.
Okay. So with that, Supreme, go ahead and I'm going to give you the last word and we're going to sign off. You can unmute? Okay, I'm going to unmute you. Okay. Well, I guess I will, I will,
I can hear you now. Sorry about that. Did you want me to put my website or?
So, you don't even have to worry about all that, because I can create a community post and put and highlight everything. But go ahead and say your goodbyes and give, just give a little inspirational something or other that you want to give.
So this is again, this is not, there's no leader here. This is just a space for all women to come together. Again, I don't charge any woman for anything. We never take from women. We always give. The West 4B movement is pro-woman. We center women here. I guess they're calling us AFABs now, assigned female at birth. We are just going to hold on to the 4 tenets the way they do in South Korea. We also want you to visit womad.life. This is the official South Korean website that actually gives all women all over the world their blessings to carry 4B far and wide. So please visit womad.life. It's a Korean website. It's better for you to visit that website on a Chrome browser because it will translate it to English for you. So please keep that in mind. Also visit west4bmovement.com, womad.life to hear what the Korean women are saying. Don't let these men tell you, especially Black men, that Korean women hate Black women and Black women hate Korean. It doesn't stop them from marrying Korean girls if they say that they hate us. It's not true. They don't hate us. They want all women to kind of get together and to have economic stability. No one at the top, everyone in arms together. And that's it. And thank you so much for having me. Right now, if you did sign up on the website for information, we're having our first official West 4B movement introductory session. We have a lot of radical feminist information there. I don't even know how I can send this, but if you sign up on the website, check your email for that Zoom link. I have 200 people already trying to get into the Zoom. So, well, who I sent the email to. Yeah, it's a lot of people. So it'll be great. And this is our first official West 4B movement. We're getting ready for the first clothing drive. And we also have to start preparing for the toy drive and the coat drive at the end of the year, because we always want to give back to women. We never always want to just take and not give. Giving is good for women. And that's just what I wanted to leave with. Yeah.
Okay. And for everybody in the chat, don't worry. I'm going to make a community post and put all of the links. I'll make the links for Maz. I will give the links for Supreme. So don't even trip. I'm going to make everything. I'm going to put everything in one little area so that we can find each other. We are here to expand. We're not here to edify. I'm a vessel or something like that. I'm a conduit to get into where we need to go. So with that, y'all, I am going to end this stream. And I will see you guys as I am causing all of the ruckus and shenanigans on my videos. All right. Bye, y'all.
Thank you again.